Hello, I'm Victoria and this is my husband Floris and winemaker, and welcome to Château Canet in the sunny south of France. We're so fortunate to be able to call this our home. We live surrounded by vineyards, an olive grove and pine forests that give the Minervois this appellation that we belong to, its typicity. If you would like, you can always come and stay here to discover our wines yourselves in our holiday cottages. Otherwise, you're going to get a sneak preview with Floris into the cellar and meet our children, Charlotte and Oliver, who are following in our footsteps making wine. Cheers.
All right, let's go and discover some wine. All right, here we are in the cellar. Let's go and meet our youngest winemaking member of the family, Charlotte.
So obviously winemaking is very much of a family thing, and growing up on wine domain I was able to taste lots and discover what my preferences were, and my palate leans a bit more towards the elegant fruity wines as opposed to the more concentrated wines that this region tends to produce, like the Château Canet wines. And this is kind of where Fleur de Charlotte was born, the idea of creating a younger, elegant and super fruity wine that really focuses on all the varieties of the grapes, and that's why we use stainless steel as opposed to oak to really concentrate on that fruitiness and get all the flavors of all the different varieties out.
This is the old part where we have the press and our first wine, which is a Picpoul. So Picpoul isn't actually from the Minervois, it's a region closer to the Mediterranean Sea. Made from the Picpoul grape, and it's a wonderful, crisp mineral wine, perfect with seafood. I mean, my personal favorite are oysters. Next up, one of my babies is the white Minervois. So the Minervois makes mainly red wines. Only 3% is white, and it's a bit of our speciality. A blend of different grapes: Roussanne, Vermentino, Muscat. I sneak in a tiny bit of Viognier, not quite allowed, but very delicious. Just was awarded 87 points by Mr. Parker, and it was the only white Minervois that received a gold medal in Paris this year. So hurry up, because we don't have a lot of it. On to the reds. So our first red is our Minervois red. Take it out of this concrete vat, because we use no oak on this. It's a blend of Syrah and Grenache. 60% Syrah, 40% Grenache. Big fruity wine, good concentration, not too tough though, because we really try to wait until the grapes are super mature to get these soft and gentle tannins. Lots of blackberries, blackcurrants, delicious wine, a little bit of spice, a little bit of violet. That's a perfect barbecue wine. Family Reserve, same composition as the Minervois. But with a little bit of oak. So you have an extra little bit of complexity, a little bit of vanilla, a tiny bit of toast. Beautiful, soft wine. Another wine that we make on these barrels, by the way, that isn't here, is our Oak Reserve, a blend of Merlot and Cabernet. Absolutely worthwhile trying as well. They're all these ones. Some new oak, some older oak, trying to find the right balance. And that brings us to La Chapelle. So La Chapelle is one of our two premium wines. In this case it's Grenache. Grenache is nice when it's really, really ripe. So we push it a little bit, so we're close to 15%, and to mask that alcohol content, we vinify it in a very special way to make the wine balance out between its fruit, its structure, its acidity, its freshness. But because it's got so much fruit, we don't want to put it in oak because that would mask it. So we imported these flex tanks from the US, and they have the particularity that they have exactly the same porosity as an oak barrel. So they mature the wine in the same way without giving them that big oak flavor, which is exactly what we want, because we want that fruit. Beautiful wine. Open it a little bit before you drink it. All right, let's go into our little special section of the cellar, where we have our last wine, which is called Les Évangiles. It is a Syrah-based wine with a tiny little bit of Grenache, and it is in these barrels. So it's a blend of 1-year-old barrels, 2-year-old barrels, and 30% of new oak. Just enough, not too much, and big concentration, definitely a little bit of oak on the palate, but not overpowering the fruit. It's the iconic wine of Château Canet. And we put it in a case together with the Chapelle, so you can try a little bit of the difference between Syrah and Grenache. Cheers. All right, here we are in Limoux. Over to you, Oliver.
Indeed, Domaine d'Eau is located right next to Limoux at the Piedmont of the Pyrenees, so a lot higher up than Château Canet, where I grew up. In fact, 40 minutes away, as you can see. What's really unique about the microclimate at the Piedmont of the Pyrenees is that we get influences from both the Mediterranean and the Atlantic, and that gives rise to a really elegant and fresh wine like our Chardonnay, which has a little bit of oak at the back, lovely for the summer, but also for Domaine d'Eau bubbles, Bulle d'Eau, which have 90% Mosaic, 5% Chenin, and 5% Chardonnay, and they're just lovely for the summer. Savor it, drink it, whatever you want. Cheers.
So that wraps up our cellar tour of Château Canet for today. We hope you will be able to find something of your liking before the 17th of August when the offering closes. And for now, cheers to all the Opimian members from the sunny south of France.
Cheers.
Cheers.